Alright, we're going to be looking at this gray volume only climb. So to start off, it's good to realize that the starting foot is at such an angle that you can stand on it with basically no hands, and that's why this volume is more or less useless. There's a small crimp between the volume and the wall right here. Otherwise, it may be able to use to stop your balance if you try to pull this way with your hips over farther out, maybe over here. But I didn't need that because I could just stand on the foot. General theme of this climb is try to get your hips down and around this volume right here. Because there's no handholds, you're going to be relying fully on counter pulling forces. So your body is going to be pulling this way, and then this foot will be pushing against this hand right here. The side of the volume is a really good 90-degree surface. The problem is this foothold right here is sloping at such a low angle that standing on it is pretty close to impossible. However, on the right side, just past the screen, there is a spot that if you can get your hips over it, it can push directly against your normal force. So moving around this one, I had to figure out a way to use this hold right here to get my body into a position where I can pull against this part of the hold right here. And I did that by moving my hips down so it stays against this sloper essentially, and then up so that I can push myself into this hold right there, push myself into this plane right there.
Penis butt, penis butt, penis butt, penis butt, poop, 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 poop.
So right here, before I am pulling against this part, I'm fully trying to have my hips down below and into the wall so that I can hold this rail and in turn hold this rail as well.
Poop, poop, penis butt, penis butt, penis butt.
So right now what I did is I try to create opposition between the hands so that I can move my feet to the places that they need to be. I'm also resting my arm on the volume to again help use my back muscles to pull myself into the wall and under this volume so that I can use only my upper body weight to move my feet.
Butts, butts.
Now that I have this foot over here, I'm going to try to get my hips above it because right now it's more than useless, while still being able to push downwards over here. So that kind of makes my back arch a little bit this way and my whole body becomes an arch this way so that I can keep pulling on this thing over here. My right leg is used to push because my left leg, sorry, because my right leg ended up slipping because I didn't trust it and place it correctly. This volume was so hard to step on that I had to put all my weight onto this right foot here. But as you can see, my body is arching and I'm still pressing down against this volume. Once I stood up, where my hips were pretty close to over this foot, I could have mantled here, I could have got my foot onto this volume, except my hips and this volume are really close in terms of height. So the way that I would be able to do that is by using a lot of hip flexibility right here to move my leg to near my hands. Since I don't possess that hip flexibility, I decided to move all the way up with my hips standing on this right foot, which allows me to put my foot on with relatively no flexibility, just balance. I then noticed that to stand up and lose this foot, I could pull down here to move my body over this foot. So the angle of this volume displacement was critical to allow climbers to both pull down, move their hips up, and again pull down to move their hips up at a higher plane. If this volume, from a route setter's perspective, was more angled like this, then you would have to have some sort of hold on this side so that you could pull your feet over and you'd be more doing a side pull rather than stepping onto the volume. Since the surface of this was only was 35 degrees, it was better than the starting foot. It was super easy to just stand and walk on this spot.